So I just wanted to start this video by giving a big shout out to Umesh Bhattarai for passing his CCNA. And I know it's been a long journey. Like I said, of course, as you can see here in this LinkedIn post, we spent just a little bit time chatting back and forth. And he asked about some resources and things that could help him. And, just decided to just send him just a bunch of different links. And I'm always amazed, fascinated, and really appreciative of those that take that extra step, and not just about passing the test, but that they keep their foot really on the gas and persevere through it. He's not been the first person that I've helped, and I definitely don't want to take any credit, but like I said, I just wanted to spend some time here and say I'm super encouraged to see the youth of today continue to take up networking and still continue to use Cisco resources to pass a test that I think not only has stood the test of time, but the CCNA, we see a lot of videos, is it relevant in 2019, 2010, 2025? Like I said, if you're still asking that question this deep in the game, then the answer is definitely obvious. But kudos to you. Definitely will send a response here later and congratulate you personally. But thank you for basically giving me the idea for today's video. And I just want to spend just a little short amount of time here speaking on that topic. And like I said, the CCNA we know has morphed over the years, over the past few decades, into its current flavor, its current iteration now. And there's various topics and subjects that are just not switching and routing focus, but they encompass some of the other CCNA disciplines that used to require a separate test. So I think that's a smart thing. I used to disagree a little bit. When we took ours, you could split up ICND 1 and 2 if you didn't have much networking experience, and that gave a lot of folks the confidence once they passed that first one that really primarily dealt with a lot of the fundamentals and really was heavy on subnetting. And the second, ICND2, went into the routing protocols and the different concepts there. But like I said, there's always going to be that need for a natural evolution towards today's marketplace, as well as with an eye on what the future holds. So for today's network engineers, we do see a lot of those buzzwords, not the AI and those kind of things, but network automation, Ansible, PyNet. We see a lot of these REST, NetConf, just statefulness, these different disciplines. But to be quite frank, like I said, whether it's government or in the commercial world, there's going to always be a need to do that. But still, there's a lot of folks and organizations, I won't say playing catch up, but they just don't see the need to really migrate or go towards that mentality or that approach when they have a smaller network. So it's always key, in my opinion, to first start learning those network concepts and fundamentals, because as you progress up that ladder towards, especially if you're studying towards your CCIE, a lot of times when you're stuck, if you just pause, take a breath, get up and come back down, you'll see that the problem is something that is fundamentally, not to say something that you learn in your CCNA, but the concept itself. They just build upon each other. But especially when we get to routing, the basic concept from a forwarding perspective is, whether it's static or dynamic, is we own or manage an organization, an ASN. Just, we don't even got to get that deep. We own this block, this square, and these are our routes to the public world, and we need to know how to reach the rest of the world. Of course, Quad Zero is very disciplined there. But what if we have these two different routes to reach someone? How do we influence, or how can we influence? Or if we have a suboptimal link or path, and how can we not have to statically manage or keep an eye out for it? How can we configure it in such a way that the network can dynamically learn those? How can we quote unquote self-heal if a link goes down? What are those protocols or mechanisms that we need to have in place so that we can sleep confidently at night, knowing that we got everything, especially in a port channel or an ether channel, when a trunk is bundled. If someone accidentally unplugs or shuts down one of those ports, you may not even know if you don't, look at your network or check certain things out the first few days, if you have a well-oiled machine and your network is optimized. But there's always still going to be time to, refine it, to grow, to learn. And to be quite honest, a lot of us that's been in this game, we cut our teeth in a production network. That's probably not the best thing to say in today's world, but that's the truth. And I'm sure that there's many out there that are still doing it. A lot of folks really got those last bits of tidbits for their CCIE, especially data center, actually doing some concepts or proposing some architects or solutions that are a part of, the blueprint in a production network. So, I'm going off on a tangent now, but like I said, just speaking to where in the CCNA, which is typically early in someone's journey, that, like I said, it's those fundamental, the principle, you hear that word a lot, that will not only, establish a good troubleshooting methodology for you, but as your career progresses, it also keeps you apprised of kind of what your next steps are, or at least what some of those opportunities could be. So, and again, shout out to Cisco for really building a test/exam format that has withstood the test of time, and many have tried to emulate, but not too many, or if none, have really replicated. It's that special sauce that keeps unique. And of course, having actually authored some of the CCNP questions years ago, I do, have a understanding of how that whole thing works behind the scene, but that's neither here nor there. And so, like I said, to Umesh and many of those others that are out there that made it this far in this video, I just want to encourage you to definitely just continue to basically keep a hold of that flag that many that came before you, or that are still in the trenches with you, that have gone through this, and just be proud of yourself first and foremost, for not only overcoming a test that many say they're just valuing the need for it, but just know that it's not the end. And like I said, it's the start of your journey, to be quite frank and quite honest, of a career that I hope just continues for many, many years. So definitely let me know down in the chat really what your thoughts are for the next year or two. Not just positions, not just jobs, just thoughts, opinions on really, like I said, SD-WAN, automation, all these buzzwords. Do you really see it in play in your organization? Because I like to just really get a little bit more sense of what folks see and are using out there, as opposed to just reading some blogs or some articles, things like that. But like I said, just big ups to you, Umesh, and like I said, I'll be shooting you a message here pretty shortly. But I want to thank each and every one of you out there for rocking here with me today. I know I just really rambled today. I'm just truly, truly inspired, encouraged, and love to see, like I said, our youth, not from an age perspective, but take up the reins and just get into this networking thing, and to just really join this brotherhood/sisterhood, like all of us as one happy networking family. So continue to do your thing, and until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, peace.